Hi and welcome back to Celebrity Goddess Oracle. So today we're going to do a reading for Ed Sheeran. As you know, I like to use the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. So Ed Sheeran, well, he's currently on a break, I think, at the moment, isn't he? I mean, there was a period for a couple of years there where he was just everywhere, every week. I think he dominated the charts and it was just like everywhere you went, somebody was playing an Ed Sheeran song. So straight out of the pack here, we've got this trend. So let's dive in and see what's going on with him in the moment. So my understanding is that he's taking time off and he's traveling the world to get inspiration for new material. In real terms, sort of like relatively recently married, isn't he, to Cherry? Or is it Cherry or Cherie? I'm not sure how you say that. If you're a fan, you'll probably know, so maybe you can leave a comment in the box below and let me know. We're just going to connect into the energy around him and see what's going on. So it's flying out, okay. And one more for here, for quiet time. Let's see what, oh, okay. He is flying out, actually. Peace and an overarching card, I think. Nope. So let's just go one more. So the last album that he released at I think it was the middle of last year, 2019, was number 6 collaborations project. So he's done a huge amount of collaborations, hasn't he, in recent times? So okay, that's perfect. And okay, we're gonna go like this. So I love his one with Stormzy. Don't know if you're a fan, you'll know about that one. Really love listening to that, actually. So we're just gonna go here, actually, one more here, and oh, okay. Okay, I think this is perfect, actually. I think we're there. Maybe, okay, but let's say that. I'm actually pull a different deck. I just want one card for here, actually, but I feel like I'm going to change decks with this, and we'll see what comes up. I'm going to go today with the Angel Oracle cards. I've used these before, so let's just dive in and pull out one card. I just really want one card, and that's for here, and then we'll be able to look more closely to what, oh, okay. Right, okay, I see what we're going now with this. Perfect. Right, let's dive in. So like I say, he's on a break currently at the moment, isn't he? He's just recently married. He's done so much material in recent years, hasn't he? He's been on tour. He had a massive tour that he did for a couple of years also. So, you know, sometimes sort of we've talked about this before, but sometimes with the fertility card and the guiding children card, it's not necessarily literal. So it's not necessarily about fertility literally and about actually connecting with children literally, but here it is. Here it is about, you know, in this downtime, this is about, you know, starting a family with the two of them and taking the leap of faith in doing that, you know, and taking the leap of faith in doing that. This is actually really quite literal and beautiful, actually. Really beautiful. Really, you know, they're going to have, yeah, definitely, you know, they're ready to have children. And so wait for that to happen, because it's about to happen for them, and you know that's going to be lovely. I feel as we move into this next sort of energy here that there is sort of there is this desire, I feel, to change things up. I don't get the feeling that it's a desire to completely change things as such, but this feeling to sort of change things up. I don't know. I mean, he's worth an absolute fortune, isn't he? And he's had a lot of, he's so prolific in his artistic expression, and that's really amazing. But I get this feeling that, you know, what this represents here is like a change in, and this is connected back to this actually in having family. Once he has this time off and they do start a family, there's going to be this desire to change the working pattern. You know, the way that he's done things before. It's going to be a case of, this no longer works for me the way that it did previously. And it's not that he's going to change his artistic style particularly. He's just going to change the way that he engages with his working pattern, actually, his working pattern here. There's going to be resistance to this, as you would expect. I mean, you know, a lot of people will want him to continue on the path that he's already on. But, you know, this is a guy who, he's kind of always followed his own, you know, with this independence card, he's always felt, I get this feeling, he's always followed his own path anyway, and he's going to do it again, you know, and he's in a position, you know, here's the thing, he's in a position to do it, and, you know, there will be this initial kind of pushback for him, like, no, but it won't really amount to anything, and he will, you know, move forward in the way that he wants. He'll move forward in the way that he wants. You know, he is going to get the guidance and the support that he needs in relation to making this life change, in relation to his working pattern. And, you know, this is what I said to you, like, as I said, there's going to be this initial pushback, but he'll get what he wants. And this is, you know, in this reading, this is what this sort of represents. He will actually, you know, he will get the support that he requires and that he needs. I do see, and I mean, I know that he's on an extended break, but you can really see this. You can really see this in his reading here. You can really see this in his reading here. This part is about sort of like, I'm going to say, by the time we move into here, we're talking sort of like 12 months before we're at this point here. You know, we're talking a full year. This is a process, you know, this is a process, and it's going to come out of, you know, the changing in his family situation in his life. Just beautiful. I mean, look, you know, take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate and contemplate. And that's what he's doing at the moment, and what he's going to do for a period of time, you know, in order to be inspired and to get to, you know, to move into that next step that he's got with his career. You know, here's the thing, this whole process here is going to bring this amazing amount of peace to him, you know, and to his situation. I do get a feeling that that hasn't always been the case. That hasn't always been the case. There's been feeling of sort of like being adrift slightly, and of not being, you know, not being as sort of, not being at peace, not having that sort of feeling of being content. That's the word I feel, not being content. It's not that he hasn't had a lot around him, it's just that he hasn't felt content with it. And finally, you know, this next part of what he's doing, he's on a journey towards contentment. You know, he's on this journey towards contentment. With this card, delegating, you know, I'm just going to pull one more card for this because, okay, where are we at with this? I'm going to pull one more card, but, you know, the feeling I get around this, okay, is a form of control, yeah, a form of control, and a form of not wanting to, you know, not entirely wanting to let go. So we're going to use this Archangel Michael deck. I'm just going to pull one card, that's it, for this part here as a clarifier, because I just want to see that we're actually on the right path here with this, you know, this sort of like feeling of not wanting to let go. So let's just dive in and see that we're on the right path. So just want one card for this as a clarifier. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, okay, and maybe one more, just one more. Okay. Right, eternal love. Okay. And guarded and protected. Yeah, okay, so this is not really so much about letting go, but actually stepping up and stepping into. So, you know, and that's what I wasn't entirely sure, you know, when I was actually connecting to this card, the energy around it. So this is about, so where does inspiration come from? That's the question here. Where does inspiration come from? It comes from this quiet and this peaceful place. You know, it's very hard to be inspired when you are so busy and you've got so much going on. And, you know, as there is this peace and this quiet and there's this sort of like calm around him, you know, it's going to come to him. You know, he's got all the components around him. He's got, you know, the love in his life, which is really important for him. It's something that he really has wanted, and, you know, he's very much got, and it's going to develop for him. He's going to be inspired through his dreams as he connects into sort of like this peaceful energy that's around him. And And, you know, he's going to be, you know, this comes back to this trustworthy guidance. He's going to be supported in this. You know, he's going to be supported in this. I feel very much, you know, in this particular part, this is connected with family and his wife, actually. You know, there is a strong, I feel that there is a strong, you know, importance, as you would expect, actually, as you would expect. And that this is going to provide sort of like the, this is going to provide the framework that he needs. So endings and beginnings. So, you know, we're at a beginning and an ending to start a beginning. So this represents him, you know, coming through this period here and out the other side into something new. So, you know, the starting of a process with this, starting of a process and evolvement. So letting go here is not really about letting go, but rather about evolvement and where that takes him next. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when he comes, you know, when he sort of takes this time and there's all these changes in his life and what comes out the next thing for him. I can't wait to see what he does next, actually. I really can't. It's going to be really interesting. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck by Kim Kranz. Amazingly beautiful artwork. I really love this deck. So I'm just going to pull a couple of cards and see what else is going on around him. Okay. Right. Okay. That makes sense. Straight out the top. Oh my gosh. And one more. Okay. So this is really beautiful energy. So the beaver is really, beaver and otter kind of go hand in hand here. So the beaver is about taking the time and sort of like this, the beaver and the otter is about hard work and family first. And, you know, this is what we're seeing here. You know, this is very much what we're seeing here, putting this sort of importance on family first. And, you know, a form of rest, actually, the importance of taking rest and taking time out. And, you know, that's very much indicated in this card and actually about the rest of his reading and you know, what he's doing. So that's really, really lovely. You know, we talked about this sort of like, you know, with the otter card, contentment. So the otter represents contentment. And, you know, we talked in this part of the reading about almost this, you know, this this missing element of contentment. And as the otter energy comes in, it is about contentment and it's bringing that. It's about, you know, really connecting to this love energy and this playfulness. And, you know, it's about sort of this is connected to the end. And when we get to the end, there's going to be this real feeling, it comes back to the beaver world, this real feeling of contentment. And dare I say it, not just contentment, but, you know, real joy, you know, real joy, which leads us to the frog card, which is healing, you know, connected to this endings and beginning. So this is going to be a really healing journey for him as he goes. You know, it's going to really sort of he's really going to sort of step into, you know, a new clear energy and a new enthusiasm for his work and his life and what he's doing. You know, and sort of the thing about the frog is that this is a reminder, you know, this is a reminder to take, you know, with this energy, this is a reminder to take time, you know, a reminder to actually take the time. And it's really good here because he is taking the time and this is reflected in his reading and it's very much needed. You know, this is very much a needed break that he's taking and what he's doing. So, you know, that's interesting. So we're going to pull one more card from the universe has your back energy, and then let's have a look, see what comes up for him actually. Let's have a look. Okay. So it's going to be really interesting to see what he does next. I can't wait. I mean, he's so talented, isn't he? And he really is. Wow. Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. When I think I have surrendered, I surrender more. And that's the process he's going through at the moment. You know, this is a guy who, how do I put this? He's definitely somebody who is in control, but it's almost like, you know, and I don't know him, but it's almost like, if you know him, it's almost like effortless control, if that makes sense. He makes it look, he's somebody who's quite determined, but he makes it look like he's sort of, you know, cool on the surface and like paddling like mad underneath. And as part, you know, part of like requiring and sort of like connecting into this inspiration is surrendering to the process, and that's where he's at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed that reading. If you'd like to like, share and subscribe to my channel, that would be so much appreciated. I do take suggestions for readings of people that you might have, so please leave a comment. I do personal readings. If that would be of any benefit to you, please reach out and connect. In the meantime, I'm sending you all my love. Make sure you look after yourselves. Make sure you look after each other. And in the meantime, thanks for watching Celebrity Goddess Oracle.